Greetings, everyone. This is Joanna from Heavenly Radiance and Universal Love Light. Thank you so much for tuning in. What a gorgeous day. Um, Feeling inspired to share some Ascension wisdoms and Ascension stories and Ascension musings as the Holy Mother, Father, the creators of all that is, shining within this beautiful sacred space. And we wanted to start off by honoring all life. We wanted to start off by honoring you as your divine and sacred human essence that you are, to come forward in this lifetime and be your highest and your best, to live your divine authentic truth, which allows you to feel so you know, for me, what I'm finding is the more I awaken and allow myself to soften, the more I allow and that surrender, that ongoing surrender story that is our movement through the infinity of time with source, the more that we become more authentic. So authenticity isn't just a one-time stop, and neither is self-love. It's an ongoing journey through the infinity symbol that I'm often shown in my teachings and in my offerings is that we're the center of the infinity, and it can be, the infinity can move all through us, which is the flower of life, sacred geometry, the Merkaba. But we are the center point within this soul space here that is the creators, the source, mother, father. And this infinity allows us to continue the expansive process through opening into our authentic allowance of what we're still experiencing as polarity, and we will for some time. There will always be that level, no matter what dimension we're in. There will always be that level of polarity, that individuation. There will always be some level of individuation, so that we can see, so that we can perceive, and we can co-create within what we see to be the reality that we're vibrating at, because that's the core vibration. However, our reality is showing us is our core vibration, so that we're ever adjusting it, ever becoming more authentic, ever becoming more alive within who we are as source. So that infinity is that crisscrossing point, that crisscrossing crucible, that this is what I see, this is what I now know, this is what I want to create. Whatever way we choose to emulate that, whether it's from above and below. It's a constant multidimensional toroidal spinning of crisscrossing moments of co-creation. And that is what allows you that ever greater moment of authenticity. How do I choose to live today? And it's a beautiful exploratory journey. And sometimes those authentic moments are raw and rich too. Absolutely been there in every moment that you allow yourself to dive deeply into who you are, forgiving and allowing and loving yourself. You become this more expansive, rich being of truth, your truth, your authentic truth. And it's meant to be different and unique and not like any others. But what that's brought to me is that ever expansive journey of what is finite and what is infinite. And that infinite is our remembrance. As we harmonize with that infinite, that is our harmonization with source, the Holy Mother, Father, the creator, God, spirit, however we want to define the creator of all that is. And as we do so, we absolutely see our intermingling and our harmonization in what we co-create with source. I mean, it shows us, and this week has been profoundly, and I've had so many amazing experiences with source and spirit living through me. And I oftentimes, I try to put them in my writings, and I try to offer the words that I can, but they're indescribable how the universe comes to the attention of love. Even in your hardest, most challenging times, source has shown me that they were there, my teens, whether it was being, flattened on the pharmaceutical floor, passing out after pneumonia, waiting for my prescriptions, my Syrian friends, my Syrian family coming in and doing a once around me and recalibrating so that I could stand up. Moments of majesty and moments of my oneness with creation is ever present with me. And I've always known that. And that's been part of my offering today, is my rich and deep, however I can move within the essence of me as a soul, that infinite aspect of me, my universal teams and families, and the beings that are always with us and always with, the divine and energies of humanity awakening, allowing us to see our ever expansive potential, to allow those moments of finite to be okay within the human journey, but just to know that you don't have to stay there. It's an experience too, and we've had enough lifetimes of that finite. But now we can allow ourselves to continue through allowance, through acceptance, into the movement that is infinite source, infinite love. And every time you do, you're breaking away those particles that was. And it really is an alchemic shift if we look at it holographically. They're particles in the atoms that are renewing itself through light. And that light is love, and love is light. They're interchangeable, they're intermixed in that source creator and all life and all life. And we allow ourselves to continually, shift within. That moment doesn't serve me the way that I'm truly resonating within. I'm going to go this way now. Choose through choice, through awareness, through mindfulness, through living your heart space. And you're going to have those moments where you break apart. The whole of you, that is a multidimensional soul, all of you. You're calling in those parts of you through our ascension. It's just the process of what occurs, and I can explain it in the best way that I can. What's occurring in my now life is not representative of the energies that I'm healing and calling in for reunification on other timelines. They're stepped down in the vibrational stories and threadings, but it's not what's actually happening on those other threads and realms. And so in this allowing and open space of knowing that, then I can call those energies in and harmonize it. And why we experience those thought patterns that are unlike and that are not rational and not like what your now reality is needing or dictating. There's many things going on at once, but for certain thought patterns and thought forms and depression and all of those things, it could be very well that you're healing those deep emotional wounds from another timeline that's harmonizing with your now timeline. Because as we've explained before, in that top-down approach that I showed you of the multiverse, and the multiverse is going through an ascension process and harmonizing timelines, because our timelines have been skewed, our timelines have been messed with. So what we're all doing as a human collective is we're correcting those timelines, which means that Source Creator, Mother, Father, the Holy Mother, this is her light program that we're ascending within, is offering us through compassion, through love, and through the receivership of love, honoring ourselves as a vessel of receivership, to harmonize and clear and cleanse and truly rebalance those timelines. That's what the reunification of Source is. We're reunifying all that was within lower vibratory frequencies held in limitation or fear or subjugation or anger, resentment, whatever it was, and why we sometimes feel those emotions and those thought forms that are connected to those emotions that might not have anything to do with what's playing out here in our reality. It always does have something to do with it, but not in the effect that it does in the realm that we're healing. Because otherwise we would, they're far more tragic and traumatic than what we're living in our daily life. And so it's good, as you awaken to your multidimensionality, you understand that you're a soul. You're calling all of your soul fragments in, and those soul fragments we're healing, as we've discussed in many of our videos before, is those psyche imprints that are here to be healed and transcended. Through your healing, you transcend it. Those psyche imprints are those experiences of trauma. They're experiences of, the wounded child, the inner child, the shadow. So we can call it whatever we want, but that's essentially what's happening. It's all that you are, biochemically, physically, multidimensionally, etherically, spiritually, all that you are. You have at all moments to become that infinite whole aspect by allowing and accepting and forgiving, giving yourself that compassion through receivership. That receivership is that releasing all pre-conditioned programs and imprints and limitations that felt as if you were not worthy of that receivership of Source that you are. You are it, your Source. And as you do so, that infinity of the universe lives through you, and you can see it and entangle with it and co-create with it in every way. You're allowing yourself to be the light that you truly are, which is what Mother, Father, Source, Creator, Spirit, God, all that is, desires of us. We've always meant to be sovereign and joyful, living in this most expansive way. And my coming forward today, I just had so much experience. The beautiful light ships outside last night, and how I've always celebrated the light ships, and I've known since I was little that they followed me when we were camping when I was little, going through the forest late at night. to the outhouse. I remember this one time going to the outhouse really late at night, and it was all dark, and it was like a forest. I didn't have a flashlight or anything, but I just knew that I was safely guarded, and I was with energies, and I just felt that essence and that presence with me. And I always knew the presence and the energies and the how I can explain it. It's like a loving song of union. And I always felt that connection, and that's my heartfelt connection with all that is, that's always threading through us. And I always had that feeling and that sensation of that oneness. And why I used to talk to myself, others used to think around me when I was talking to myself, and I was vibrating within the energies of what could not be seen. And that's what many telepathic, empathic, criss-crossing children and indigo children co-create. They understand the language of the unseen because we can feel it at every level. Our light bodies, our etheric bodies, we're so sensitive in how we communicate. And why oftentimes too, that sensitivity has that beauty connected with it, with nature, with Gaia, with angels and the angelic realms and our creating, searing, our trine, all of our celestial families and friends and source creator. That's our way we communicate. But it also has that balancing negative implications that we sense and feel everything chaotic and dense and angry and aggressive as it is. But to know that and to bring it into normality, to bring it into the conversation so that we don't walk around thinking that we're going crazy. We're merely going through a multidimensional cleansing, reunifying, clearing, so that we can harmonize in our highest honoring of empowerment of who we are. But if we don't know that, then we spend so much time in such depressive states and suppressive states because we sense and we feel everything, claiming it and thinking it's our own. And oftentimes it's not. We're just clearing imprints from our collective. We're just clearing thought forms that are in the house before you because your house has never been cleared. So if we don't bring these conversations to the forefront in a normal way so that children aren't feeling and devaluing themselves as bad, we can bring all energy to a neutral state because all energy is neutral. It's only how we perceive it from this center point. Remember, the center of the infinity. We get to choose how we perceive every moment. And in that perceiving and in that choosing, we get to be the infinite beings of all that we are. Understanding that we're also part of the finite. Our personality construct is a finite perspective. We're infinite within it. And this is the beauty of that elegance that we talked about in our offering yesterday, is there's always that delicate beauty through which the points touch and meet. And then they shift off again based on your free will and choice. It's where you're vibrating at. But it's a very soft and delicate crisscross. And that's source. And that's why it's such a beautiful and co-creative journey of joy, if we allow it. But first we must acknowledge it, bring it to the awareness and bring it to the forefront that says, okay, well, why am I feeling, honoring your feelings? Why am I feeling what I'm feeling? Why do I sense what I sense? Why do I have those thought forms that are coming in? Perhaps they're not fully your thought form. They're in your field because you're not clearing your field. And you're also walking around with millions of other people that are skewing the vibrations in the collective that we're clearing through purity of intent and laughter and joy and love. And bit by bit by bit, as our collective awakens and become aware, then we get to create those higher thought forms, and the consciousness then again raises because we're a part threaded within a collective family, not just one person. Each of us are threaded with our entire collective, every heart within our whole planet. We are threaded. And so it is really important that we bring value and honor to everything that we are and begin discussing and co-creating warm and friendly and normal discussions about who we are as multidimensional beings. Self-care and honoring our infinite potential, even in those finite moments, even in those moments where, wow, this seemed to be, I've just so held within this moment of lack of movement or stagnancy or depression or whatever it might feel like that feels never ending in that finite state. But it's that outgrowing that you can always co-create within the source offers, because the law of one, the universal laws, is that you are infinite and eternal, which means that if there is that equal balance of suppressive, depressive energies that you're experiencing to heal something that requires your greater awareness to say, I am infinite, then that crisscrossing moment and off into your infinite potentials that you can co-create with them. Then your reality shifts and changes and harmonizes to what you are resonating at. because the universe is not necessarily a place. It's the vibration through which you allow it to be, through your choice, through your perspectives, through your beliefs, through your, infinite joy of you. And so how beautiful, how beautiful. I'm so lucky. So lucky, so lucky. But I wanted to bring forward the beautiful, infinite appreciation and recognition that I have for all of my universe teams and the Holy Mother Father that are with me at all times, reminding me in gentle whispers that I'm loved, reminding me in gentle whispers that everything that I've moved through and I've gone through so purposeful for my journey and for me to deepen within that, to deepen within the infinite honor, because honor is infinite. And that's the one thing that they've said to me more this year than anything that I've heard is honor your light. You are the light, you are the sun, you are everything that is profound and alchemic and mysterious and magical. In all that is the infinite. So we are here as humans to shift the finite and allow the infinite, because that finite is a moment that we're transitioning from into the infinite. That is the limitation, the fear, the greed, the subjugation at every level. All of our social constructs, to release that finite energy and truly allow the infinite to come forward and bless us and caress us and crisscross into a new state of being. But it's through our allowance to say, I'm ready to feel my infinite energies that is source. I'm ready to ignite those infinite particles that are quantum, rearranging themselves to find other particles that are also connecting to create that form of reality for you. And that's essentially what's happening at a collective and an individual holographic level. And my teams are constantly showing me, they're constantly allowing me to feel, because I can feel things at different levels. And why I think it's such an important lesson that we bring normality to all that we are as dynamic sensing beings, because this is how we will co-create, to sense into the feelings, the emotions, the mental intellect, and to balance it in a harmonic way so that not one body is overwhelmed and overworked, which has been everything that humanity has moved through and why we have the pharmaceutical business in the way that we do, because our mental bodies and all that we are as a mental multidimensional being is imbalanced. We're not yet understanding and comprehending and understanding who we are at the depth and the richness of who we are, so that we can bring in holistic ways to better manage and release. As we're creating this new reality of infinite, we're still going to have to release and heal all of these patterns, because they are their patterns. They're imprints within our society, thought forms, DNA patterns that we're healing through our lineage, steeped in subjugation and steeped in control in every way. Make no mistake about it. And every aspect of our socioeconomic system will be rewritten. Because our consciousness aches for it. Our consciousness is sending out those consciousness thought forms and consciousness energies that say we deserve to live in our most liberated understanding of infinite potential. We deserve that. That's our birthright. We are aspects of Source. Therefore, we are within that law of one as infinite and eternal beings. And that's our birthright to be creative and expressive and exploratory in our allness. Even in those finite moments, I experienced a really, challenging moment that I just didn't allow myself to see how infinite I was to change and shift this problem or this challenge or this abuse or this neglect or this addiction, behaviors, thought patterns, whatever it is that we're balancing. What is it today? But to truly anchor within, before you even get out of bed, and anchor within our open heart and open soul gratitude for all that we are. Understand that your field is within the all. You have the all field to play with and work with. How can it be the most constructive, benevolent, loving, honoring, grateful, appreciative, soulful, happy, inner peaceful, however it is that you want to co-create and truly live from this center point and allow this infinite potential to be, and to allow those miracles to come forward, truly miracles in every way, whether it's a miraculous healing, healing for your family. You know, I've been praying for healing for my family for months and months and months, and I see the differences, because that's the energy, my core vibration, and my wish and my intention is to be in that vibration of healing, and to see it, to perceive it, to own it, to honor it. And it's that infinity symbol clock that's working thoughtward and deed, thoughtward and deed, thoughtward and deed, and shift that reality. And those are core vibrations from your soul. It's not the mind thinking, the mindful ego thoughts. Those are rich, soulful energies that I am the alchemist, and I choose to change my reality to benefit my soul's experience. The soul will always be served through love, through forgiveness, through compassion, and through understanding. As we each open and awaken to this, our whole entire collective changes, and we no longer need the the systems of control that we've used to have, because we're living from a mindful awakened state. Not that it will all change tomorrow, of course, because there's 7 billion of us all working through our understanding, our own unique perspective and understanding of what awakening and our infinite potentiality is. Any one moment is finite and infinite. We get to choose any one moment how vast and expansive we're ready to explore. That's the beauty of Source, and there's no judgment or condition on that through Source Creator. Source Creator has allowed me to experience the darkest and the deepest moments of finite that I can, that, what perhaps, in that finite moment, what we think and what we feel and what we experience in that finite moment is not always pretty. But that was the human experience that I had, my soul had to go through and heal, so that I could also experience that equal crisscrossing into the infinite. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to feel that way. As an empath and as a crystal child, how I was feeling magnified seemed to be magnified more so than, someone that was not, crystal or, awake. Because they've shut down the faculties of awareness. They've shut down the faculties of sensing and feeling and owning those feelings. So it's really important that we bring normality to who we are as a multidimensional crisscrossing being through all timelines, all universes, and truly live from this vast, beautiful space and energy, Source Creator comes through again, that we are truly infinite and bold, and we will always be guided, the guardian of love, within our hearts and within all particles of life, that we can co-create with this infinite love. That song that caresses you is love, and it sings within your soul, and it will sing within a dream to awaken you to a deeper part of you that requires your healing, that requires your acknowledgement, that requires your dance in life with all life in different ways. So how can you honor the infinite universal song that's living within you? That is you, your DNA. Your dreams, your thoughts, your inspirations, your creativities, your oneness with all nature, with all wildlife. How can we sing in a way that's unique, that serves our soul? That's why we're here. It's a blessing and a gift. This is the gift from Source, and it comes in this beautiful, beautiful, courageous, brave little finite personality perspective that allows itself to be infinite, and that's the gift of life. That gift of life can allow you to explore anything and all things. That's the infinite universal law that Source blesses you with. When you awaken to it, when you understand in your cells, you start training your cells and your thought patterns and your mind and your programming, that you are this infinite being of holy light, and you are here to transcend these programs of limitation if you so desire. It's always free will and choice. But that there is that alchemic sun that is within all particles that you have access to co-create with the fields of consciousness, the all that is, to start creating your own miracles, your own infinite love that lives through you, and as the open vessel of receivership that you are. And that's what I've been moving through the last couple of weeks through our Divine Goddess and Divine Mother. We'll have the links up, I think, this week. Of our week-long devotion. We had 30 minutes each day that we were devoted to spirit through the Divine Mother energies and the Divine Goddess energies, healing our heart chakra, healing compassion and understanding, and still moving through those energetic adjustments, because we talked about in our offering this morning how we shift through that spiral of activation, and we shed the skin of what was, and our cells change, our face changes, all that we are as a multidimensional being changes, because we choose to activate that sense of vibration. That sense of vibration then spirals through every other cell, and it links with, as the sacred geometry does, starts linking with the innate field that we exist within, the God consciousness field, and it starts co-entangling and commingling, and everything that you are and everything that your reality is begins to change. You set that vibration, you set that core intention, and see what happens. And my teams are ever showing me the elegance. I was out here doing a ceremony one day, and I was singing and doing with the trees. And I've always, the light ships are always with me wherever I travel and wherever I go, and they're always a part of my life. And I bring in the great gratitude, and my intentions are always to bring great awareness to whatever that is universal, into the normality of the human life, so that we can understand we're far more expansive than we thought. We're far more with our loved ones and our families than we thought. But I was out doing a ceremony, and as I was doing my ceremony, and I took a picture of the sun that was shining behind me. And as I took it inside and I was reviewing all of my pictures of the sacred space, I saw a celestial being with their hand out, and there was many beings that were viewing what I was doing. They were creating a portal of light that these beautiful beings were watching the co-creation of new energies, a new song, a new dance with the co-creative energies of Gaia. And so they were always with our universal families. It's just a matter of what are our perspectives. Are we in that finite perspective of being lost and alone and nobody cares, which is the perspective that we can take? I've been there many times. That's a part of that evolutionary movement, and just know that you can create that awareness of that. I choose to create my awareness that I'm moving with Source through an evolution, and I surrender to it. When I surrender to it, I'm opening and allowing all that I am to be shifted and changed to a higher vibration of potential. You then get to co-create through your vibration, and then just allow whatever to happen to come in. But we have to set that vibration and that owning and that opening and that honoring that invitation, so that Source comes in and again lives through us and starts to co-create these miracles and these majesties of what vibration we carry. And our excitement to create like the child, our excitement to explore like the child through the Holy Mother, that mother energy, go play, go explore. We all want to see our children explore and be happy in who they are. That's the Divine Mother energy. And it's receiving, because the mother is so happy receiving that joy that the children are moving about life in such a joyful, creative way. And they're creating great life. They're creating great love. And they say, well, this thought form doesn't serve me anymore. It made me feel so finite. I want to be infinite. I choose to let this go, and I want this transmuted so that I can truly live from that honoring, respectful place of oneness. Help me transmute this Source. Help me transmute this, my teams and my soul. I truly desire to flow with you in the infinite. And there just takes moments and seconds that you truly know that you belong, and you're actually transmuting your own thought forms, because you're recognizing and choosing for yourself. You are the all. And you're not going crazy having those multidimensional perspectives, because when your light bodies turn on, when your gifts turn on, your intuitive gifts, your intuitive knowing, your third eye, all of these gifts that turn on, you will be feeling the all in one moment. That's why we need to bring normality to these discussions, because the crystalline children and all those moving through Ascension will have these energetic moments, and to allow them to be grounded and not think that they're going crazy, because they're not. You're becoming normal in your awakened, however we define. We'd like to get away from definitions, because everyone has this unique perspective, and it's meant to be. But to not damn and degrade or put judgment on any part of the journey, how we've labeled things have been so controlling again, limiting. You're meant to feel the all. And as you open your vessel and allow yourself to feel the all, to sense the all, your vibration can then choose. I choose to feel my infinite crystalline grids. I choose to feel my multidimensional Christ vibration. That's your direction, is intending how you're going to choose to direct your energy. And just know that everything else is there. You can feel the thought forms, and You can sense them and understand them. You don't have to make it your own. It doesn't have to affect you. And that's where standing in your power, knowing who you are, understanding your multidimensional gifts and sensitivities, they're serving you, because you might use those gifts to help someone heal their body and send light to their field, to bless and cleanse their field, so that they're not feeling so overwhelmed by the consciousness imprints that we're still trying to heal and correct. Wow, so much greatness. Thank you, the Holy Mother, Father, Creator, Source, Spirit, all that is, the love that is within every atom, all that we are within our co-creation of greatness and wonderment. So go and have your state of being be the all and the infinite that you are, as this beautiful source light that's blessing the entire planet with love and the potential to be more than what we thought we were a moment ago. To feel and to sense and to know and to dream and to envision ourselves as the beautiful, universal, galactic, planetary, earthly, shamanic Gaia beings that we are. We are in essence all things, all light. And I bless you in this, and I honor you in this oneness. And thank you for this sacred sharing. And love to all the children, and love to all the wildlife and animals in Gaia. Love to all beings. Namaste.